everybody. Alright, today I'm teaching a lesson on kayaking. And kayaking is a little bit different than canoeing, as you all remember. As where in canoeing we have multiple people that could be in it, whereas kayaking there's only one. I am going to go over a few safety things, different scenarios for you guys. For instance, as you can see, this is a very open area, not much of a current, not many whiteheads. Whereas if we're in a river, for instance, for you guys, kayaking, one, you got to be a little bit more experienced. I would recommend that, especially with the whitewaters going into heavier current as well as ocean. One thing that I would recommend in a river setting is to have a smaller, which these kayaks that we have here, they're a little bit smaller and wider. I recommend a smaller one only because you got to be able to maneuver a lot easier, getting around stuff. Whereas in an ocean, you're going to want to have more of a bigger one because you're going to have to deal with more of a current. You're dealing with more of waves and stuff like that. What I also want to do is direct your attention over here real quick to a kayak. And one of the things I want to point out here for you guys is where these kayaks, like I said, are a little bit shorter, a little bit more wide and narrow. Right here, as you can see, there's different kinds of kayaks that are out here, and as you can see, is that when you sit in here, you have a footrest right here, where in some kayaks, you can actually maneuver them, where to distance about how long your legs are and stuff like that, and things like that. And the way you want to be comfortable is that you want the tip of your toes, you want that to be out. You don't want your knees too far up in here, and you don't want to not be touching. You want to at least be able to at least feel them and be touching them. Another thing is to put in the mind is balance. In kayaks, you can very easily tip them. In that case, there is a maneuver on certain kayaks that you have to use, which I will go over with. These ones here, they don't need that type of technique because your knees are kind of already out of it. They're already exposed, so once you tip them, these ones are pretty much already falling out. But what I do want to also go over is the technique that you're going to be using when you get out, and I'm not going to actually do it because it's not going to be safe. Is that for here, if you guys can see me, you guys can come over here so you can hear me, so I don't want to talk to my back to you guys. Is that in here, you see how my knees are exposed? Well, what these will is right here is could come off in here, as most kayaks will. And in that case, when you flip over, and it can happen, and you'll tip over, and say, right now I'm submerged underwater. So myself right now is underwater, okay? And a lot of times we have what's called a skirt. And a skirt, as you can see these right here, this notch right here, you have a skirt on your waist, and you hook it on from back to front. And it's tight, it keeps water out, all that stuff. Well, say I flip over and I have a skirt, it has a little lever like right here, like a little pull, kind of like on the back handle like that. Where what you would do is if you are underwater is you're going to pull it like this so it pulls off the skirt. You're going to tuck yourself in and see my hand, and you just push out like that, and what it does, it like somersaults you up. Okay? So that's one thing I do want you guys to understand. With certain kayaks, that's different techniques of getting out. Whereas this one, if you do fall, you're automatically just going to come out due to just how big this part is. Okay? Now, what I want you guys to do, you only have 4 kayaks. So what I need you guys to do, we have, what, 16, 15? Group up. We have 15 including me. Group up. Get a paddle like this. There you go. Group up. All you guys group up. Get a paddle like this. Come over here. Now, as you guys can see, the paddle that we have right here is a little bit different to a canoe paddle. Whereas right here, double-sided. So we don't have one. We're not going to be going on one. So when we're going, we don't want to have a really too wide grip, because if we have a wide grip, that means we're really got to dip down and get to the water, in which the balance difference between a kayak and a canoe is a kayak, you can very easily tip it, especially these ones. These ones you can really, if you decide to go like this on one side, you will tip yourself over. So you do want to try and get yourself maybe a little outside shoulder distance length, whatever's comfortable for you, and you get a nice, steady, balanced stroke. Now you see my upper body isn't moving this way. You do not want to move your upper body because that will get you unbalanced, going like so. Now the strokes as follows what we did before, as a front stroke, of course, we're going to go front, and we're going to get ourselves in a rhythm, okay? Whereas before in a canoe, we were only going on one side, okay? Now the key is to get a rhythm, and the rhythm is to get it going. Because you don't want to be sporadic and slow, because what that will do is it will tend to turn your kayak, okay? So now what I want to do, before we get in, is I want you guys, you're very limited with these, is kind of get yourself a comfortable feel. So you guys have to kind of get it and kind of share off because we don't have too many. Share off, you gotta get all these groups because we got a bunch of people standing around.
Thank you.
It's about him. It's about him. Here, partner.
You got anything? You want it straight here, like you know, like here, like out, or you're not gonna want it. You're doing it like this. All right, hey, here's a good question, guys. Listen up, you girls. Justin just asked us, do you want it to be straight? No, because if you're having it straight, you're just going to be out here locking it like this. You kind of want yourself in a nice, relaxed position. You don't want to be too far in here because you're going to be like this. You don't want to be too far out because you can go like this. You guys understand? You understand? Be in a comfortable position where you guys can at least get yourself in a rhythm. There you go.
It's like dancing. It's like dancing.
Yeah, exactly. Like dancing.
Oh gosh.
Alright, gather back up. So, some safety things I do want you guys to realize is we're all wearing our life jackets. We're all wearing our life jackets. Now, out here, like I said before, it's not a river setting, anything like that. If we are in a river setting, you might want to wear a helmet. More than likely, I recommend it, to be honest with you, because in a river, it does fluctuate between anywhere you can get, depths of 5, 10 feet to 2 feet within seconds. And with currents, and especially with white water, and if you do flip, a helmet really can save many lives, and it's been proven. Also, another thing to bear in mind is I know a lot of you don't have glasses on or hats. That's protecting you from the sun. That is another very important thing to play into effect. Not only that, but when you're out on a river, a lake, the ocean, etc., when you have polarized glasses on, you can actually be able to see things before you come upon them. Like, for instance, if a rock is really high and you all of a sudden see it, you can move around it. You see any danger spots, anything like that. Alright, so I highly recommend that you guys wear glasses, hats, all that accessories. Very high recommend also too wearing your good old life jackets. A life jacket for a reason. It's basically mandatory, especially in the class. Another big thing for you guys to play in mind is do not use any alcohol or any consumption of it while doing this, because as many people think this is a very recreational sport, at the same time it can be a very dangerous sport. At the same time, also go out in pairs. Don't necessarily go out by yourself, and if you do go out by yourself, let someone know where you're at, what time you're going to be back, things and that, etc., so anything happens, because unfortunately it is Mother Nature, and if Mother Nature does dictate what it wants to do. Another reason why I say go in pairs, say for instance if you do flip over, as you can see the opening, water will get into it. And sometimes water will get so much into it that you may not be able to get it all out by yourself while you're actually in a lake, a river, or whatever. In a river, sometimes if you can find a short spot to get to, get your boat, swim over, do either a side stroke that you guys could possibly use to get over to shallow water and be able to lift the water out of it, flip it back over and get back in, or a partner that could help you out by lifting it up, getting the water out. Okay? So what we're going to do is now we only have 4 kayaks, but we do have canoes. So what we're going to do is we're going to get paired up with people, and we're going to have a kayak to a canoe assessing on their balance is one of the main things, and their rhythm. Okay, and we're not focusing on turning necessarily, but I really want you guys to focus on your guys' balance and your guys' rhythm. Alright, so what we're going to do now is everyone who has a paddle right now, get you guys yourself to a kayak. There's 2 over here, there's 2 right here. Now, for those of you who do not have a paddle right now, alright, there's 12 of us, including the canoe. What we're going to do is we're going to have 3 in a canoe like we have. So get in pairs of 3. There we go. Come on. We got 3 right here. You guys come over here. Alright, right here. You got 3 then? Alright. So, after we've already reviewed with the canoes, we've already gone over that, so we all know how to get in the canoe. So, canoes, you guys can go. Not get ready. But for a kayak, here we go. Here, let's bring all the kayaks over here. There we go. Get in there.